Imperfection. It's funny how that word can feel so negative, like something's broken or incomplete. But the more I think about it, the more I wonder, what if imperfection isn't a bad thing at all? What if it's actually what makes life, well, life? We're surrounded by this constant pressure to be perfect. Perfect looks, perfect jobs, perfect relationships. Social media doesn't help, right? Everyone's highlight reel makes it seem like they've got it all figured out. But deep down, we all know that's not real. Nobody's perfect. We're just really good at pretending sometimes. And the weird thing is, perfection, true perfection, can be kind of boring. Imagine a world where everything was flawless, every flower identical, every song perfectly balanced, every moment going exactly as planned. It sounds nice for about 5 minutes and then it just feels flat. No surprises, no growth, no fun. Imperfection, though. That's where all the interesting stuff happens. Think about art. The most beautiful paintings, the most moving songs, they're full of little flaws and quirks. That's what makes them human. The same goes for nature. Look at a forest. Nothing lines up perfectly. It's all chaotic and wild. But that's what makes it beautiful. If every tree were the same height, spaced exactly the same distance apart, it'd just look fake. Nature thrives on imperfection. So why don't we? Imperfection is also where we grow. Think about mistakes for a second. Nobody likes making them. They're frustrating, embarrassing, sometimes even painful. But without them, how would we ever learn anything? Every time you mess up, it's a chance to figure something out, to get better, to see things differently. Perfection doesn't give you that. It's like a dead-end street. But imperfection, that's a whole world of possibilities. And then there's the way imperfection connects us. Like when someone opens up about their flaws or struggles, doesn't that make them feel more real to you? More relatable? Perfect people are intimidating. They don't feel human. But when someone's a little messy, a little complicated, you see yourself in them. Imperfection is what makes relationships meaningful. It's where empathy and understanding come from. Even when it comes to ourselves, imperfection has a strange kind of power. We spend so much time trying to hide our flaws, but what if we didn't? What if we leaned into them instead? I mean, think about your favorite people. Are they your favorites because they're perfect? Or is it because of the way they laugh too loud? Or how they're always late but have the best stories? Or the way they're unapologetically themselves? Those little imperfections, that's what makes them unique. That's what makes them them. And yet, we're so hard on ourselves. We see imperfections as something to fix, not something to embrace. Like, once I lose the weight, or once I get that promotion, or once I figure everything out, then I'll be happy. But what if that perfect version of yourself isn't the goal? What if the goal is to just keep growing, keep learning, and be okay with not having it all together? I think imperfection is what gives life its texture. It's the cracks in the pottery that make it interesting. It's the unexpected detours that turn into the best memories. It's the little moments of failure that lead to the biggest breakthroughs. Perfection is static. It's smooth, polished, and untouchable. But imperfection, that's alive. That's where the magic is. Of course, that doesn't mean we should stop trying to improve. Growth is important and striving for better isn't a bad thing. But maybe the key is to stop equating better with perfect. Because perfect doesn't exist. And honestly, would we even want it to? I guess what I'm trying to say is that imperfection isn't something to be afraid of. It's not a flaw in the system. It is the system. It's what makes us human, what makes life beautiful, and what keeps things interesting. So maybe instead of chasing perfection, we could learn to appreciate the cracks, the quirks, the messiness of it all, because that's where the good stuff really happens. Anyways, that's really all I got to say for now. Thanks for joining in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again.